know if you've ever gotten a chance to read about the temple of God in the Old Testament, but I've been reading through the Old Testament this year, and I've learned a lot about it, how from the planning phases and who got to build the temple and how great and how grand it was and how it got destroyed then over time and how people no longer respected it, and then they would rebuild the temple and then they would sin again and then they went into captivity, and then God really wanted them to rebuild the temple one more time. And as I'm reading this, I'm like, okay, can these people not get it? You know, this temple is where God's glory dwells. It's where his presence is, and why wouldn't you want to keep that up? And then all of a sudden it dawned on me. We are now, because through Christ, we are now the temple that God dwells within. And I think, how many times do we tear it down, sin, ignore God, ignore his temple, and then God has to come in and he has to say, okay, I want you to rebuild this temple. I'm going to give you the tools, I'm going to give you the resources, and I want you to build up the temple where I live. Get to know me, be strong, be courageous, use my giftings, get intimate with me, and build that temple. And so I just want to encourage you today, because God lives within inside of you. You are the temple of God now. And so I pray that however God is encouraging you to grow, yourselves, realize that he is asking you to grow where he dwells. And so is it not only for you, but it's for him also. And so I hope that has encouraged you and gives you a little bit of just motivation to just, whenever God asks you or whenever you feel convicted to take a step deeper into your relationship, I hope that brings you to a place and reminds you why it's so important that we continue to always be growing and listening to God.